I probably shouldn't be talking to you. Billy says I get too friendly with people I don't... Well, Billy built a safe into the floor of our house. He keeps all sorts of cool stuff in there. I shouldn't tell you this, but the combination is 15, 16, 23, 42, if you want to take a look. Just make sure that you put everything back if you take anything out to play with it. I don't want to get in trouble.
Any luck finding out how rivet... Aha! Not just as easy as asking around, was it? Good information takes real work to uncover after all. So, tell me all about it. With the protected location and resources that came from those scientific advances, I can definitely see how it grew so quickly. A bit of smarts leads to a big reward, huh? Speaking of which, in thanks, have a few of these for the next time you've got to be quick on your wits. Oh, and I'll let the Rivet City traders know they'll be favorably mentioned in the book. You'll get a discount buying gear from them in the future. It does, doesn't it? I mostly just deal with it after it's junked. But a trader gave me this bit of electronics from the rock. If there's a way to reactivate and control the robots there, it'd make for a good example of harnessing the past's technology for the book. Yeah, you should just be able to plug it into the mainframe at the Robco production facility. It'll give you access. Okay, here. And be sure to keep an eye peeled for any other examples of how to make old technology. Some say it was all a hoax, but it's real. Here, check out this holotape I found. That Commonwealth robot was real. Why, I'm flattered. Well, it'll help humanity rebuild, right? Besides, it's bound to work out better than some of my other projects. I mean, with you helping and all, how could it go wrong? Well, a little before you first arrived, one of my experiments had a little... I mean, how could I have predicted the centaur would think my assistant smelled tasty? But nothing bad like that could happen with this book. It's a great plan, and it'll make up for everything else. You got it, super research assistant. Hey, I should get you a costume or something. Good hunting! Fiddle with any interest...
You've been rather busy lately, asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of... Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Well, if that's true, then the first thing you need to do is halt your investigation. The movement I'm involved with, we help his kind escape their Commonwealth-imposed slavery. We help them disappear. You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead, and that was on the corpse. Do that, and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that, and you'll have saved a man's life. Of course, if you help me, and thus the android, God and the universe will smile upon you. Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he... But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. Please, if there's a shred of decency... We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known. Yes, if we are able, but there are others in the wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us. Tell you what, you deliver that component to Zimmer and tell him the android is dead, and you can consider yourself a member in good standing.
Now try and hide! From this! talking to you anyway. Game's over! You're... Right! To die! Stop moving! Stupid man! Around my neck! Hurry up and die! Where I go?
Even in Vault 101, my work on Project Purity never really stopped. Soon after we arrived, my nightly routine included sneaking into the restricted areas, searching for, I don't know, whatever I could find. It was a Vault-Tec facility after all. The place was built with some of the most advanced technology this country had ever developed. Those excursions never turned up anything particularly useful. So, one night, after half a bottle of scotch, I broke into the overseer's office. It was easy enough to hack his console, gain access to the restricted files. Most of it was garbage. Propaganda, spy reports, just plain rambling bullshit, really. But there was one thing, one name that stood out amongst all the others. Dr. Stanislaus Braun. I knew of Braun's work, of course. He was a celebrity in his day. Vault-Tec's sorcerer scientist, leaving his peers in awe of his technological wizardry. But it was in Vault 101 that night in the overseer's office I first learned of Braun's involvement in Vault-Tec's Social Preservation Program and his work on something called GEC, the Garden of Eden Creation Kit. To be honest, the GEC sounded like pure fantasy, even for someone of Braun's capabilities. It was nothing short of a miracle. A terraforming module capable of producing life from complete lifelessness. But not only was this thing a reality, it was actually distributed to several vaults to be used after an atomic war. Vault 101 was, sadly, not on that list. I did some digging and discovered Braun's name on the reservation list for a Vault 112. I'm no slouch, but this man, he could have easily succeeded where I failed. Does his collected knowledge remain within the halls of Vault 112? Journals, holotapes, computer records, maybe even experiments. If I could gain access to just a fraction of Braun's genius, Project Purity would become a reality. I'm off to Vault 112 to search for anything of Braun's that might help me get this purifier up and running. All I know is that it's west of someplace called Evergreen Mills, and it's well hidden in some sort of garage. But I'll find it. I have to. It's so close, but that's the story of Project Purity, isn't it? An eternity of almost theirs. Let's see if Braun has the missing puzzle piece.
Remember that secret android project I told you about? Well, they got some serious pre-war tech on their hands. They nabbed a lipoplasticator and a microdermal graftalizer for the facial reconstruction. Not sure where they'll find a chopper with enough skills to use it without making him look like a freaking ghoul. Oh, and get this. Can you believe they found a circuit neuralizer? That or someone built one. Word is that they're going to completely rewire the brain of one of those things. If you know who they got working on this, let me know. I want to meet the guy.
Her place is my son, small and helpless. As much as this place means to me, as much as it meant to Catherine, this is no place for an infant, especially an infant without his mother. It's time to go. The project was in trouble before, both internally and externally. Progress has come to a halt, both because our recalculations have gotten us nowhere, and because the attacks occur several times a day. I regret that it has come to this. I know that if I leave, our work may come to an end. Madison has never been on the best of terms with the Brotherhood. Aside from Scribe Rothschild, she'll tolerate none of them. If she's the one dealing with them, who knows what will happen? It breaks my heart to go. But I must put the needs of my child before my own.
Stop moving! Stop! Now trying hard for this or hurt.
That batch of tests was inconclusive, but Madison and I are convinced it's a problem with the secondary filtration system. We're going to recalibrate the equipment and try again tomorrow, so that... James, please. I'm trying to work. Now's not the time. So that's the next step. Assuming we get the results we need, we'll move on to... James! Stop! I need to finish these notes. We'll move on to diagnosing the issues with the radiation dampeners. That should... Ow! James! Now? We really shouldn't.
Well, here we are again. Project Purity and me. It's been close to 20 years since my last entry, as I left all of this behind to make a life for my son. We've spent that time in Vault 101, tucked away from the rest of the world. It wasn't perfect, but it was safe, and that's all I could have hoped for. Now my son is a grown man, handsome, intelligent, confident, just like his old man. And as hard as it was to admit it, he doesn't need his daddy anymore. So here I am, back where it all began. Project Purity. God, we wanted to change the world. We really thought the waters of life could be a reality. And that's why this is a momentous occasion. Because even after 19 years, I still believe it. Project Purity can and will be operational. This is just the beginning. I spoke with Dr. Lee Madison. This is day 2 of my attempt to resurrect this project. I've got one of the portable fusion generators up and running, but it's just enough to power the emergency lighting and a couple of other systems. It will serve for now, but I need help powering up the mainframe. I have to visit Madison at Rivet City. I spoke with Dr. Lee Madison at Rivet City. as I expected. That is to say, she thinks I'm completely blur. She's got her own life and her own team and is making real, tangible scientific progress. Here I come again, the very paragon of failure and false promises. But the reality is, I need Madison and whatever scientific team she may have assembled. I can't do this myself. Project Purity is bigger than me. It always was. And without Catherine, God, I can't let this die. Not again. Not like this.
How's the mall treating you?
try and hide from that! You are weak! try and hide from this! Die! No more hiding for you! Kill them! Kill them all! Game's over! Stupid little man! Oh! Oh! Arm hurt! Oh! Ah! Wounded! Oh! No! Time to die! Squash! I'll wear your monkey around my neck! I'll wear your bones around my neck! From you die now, human! You stupid humans always fight! Impossible!
Over here if you want to live. Watch out for the mines. Quick, they're coming. Lock it. You made enough noise coming in here to wake the dead, for God's. Just be ready. The Whew. Say, you're pretty decent. Well, with what I do for a living, you need to be. Sorry, I'm being a complete asshole. I'm Sydney. Come on. You and I both know this is where the Declaration of Independence is stashed. Good old Abraham Washington sent you on the same suicide. Only problem is, you're not going to get it without. Simple. We pool our resources, grab the Declaration. I've studied the plans of this place. So without me... Smart. Okay. The Declaration is secured in... There's a concealed cargo lift right here in the center of the rotunda. I've spent a few days... When you're ready. All I know is that it looks like a rolled-up piece of thick paper with all kinds of writing on it. Abraham Washington is a huge U.S. history nut. There's a cargo lift right here in the rotunda. I was hacking the system right... Ha! I'm surprised that you care. Usually everyone looks out... What is it you... Oh no. There's more than a lifetime supply of grade A crap in that plate. Honestly, I don't care what he does with that stuff. As long as the caps keep flowing. Yeah, it is nice. My father made gun ammunition for a living. It's only... Thanks, I'll use it.